We're holding in the Hakdama, page Yud Aleph, paragraph Ukvar. Ukvar Amarti. Now this is a new subject. He's going to launch into a discussion of the issue of saying Teichacha, of rebuking people and whether it's right to tell people who are doing an Aveira to stop doing it even if you know they're not going to listen. And that's negaya to this sefer, because the Rebbe is about to write a sefer here that explains the Isser of the Shalosh Shvuos and the Isser of the Bechiros and Sionis, and he knows that most people are probably not going to listen to it. So is it allowed to write a sefer? Do we say mutav sheyishagin? Do we say it's better not to tell anybody, better let them just be over b'shagig? Or should we tell them and try to be moichich people and hope that maybe one person will listen? So that's the subject he's going to start now. Okay, Ukvar Marti, I said on another occasion, regarding the story in the Gemara Shabbos, there was never a time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to do something good and then he changed, except for this one story.
What is one thing?
Because, well, we'll see in a second. But usually the din is, when Hashem says in Nevuah, Ra, it could be Chayzer. Right? He could change if people did tshuva, like Ninveh, then he'll change and he'll reverse the Nevuah Ra. Mashenkin Nevuah Toiva, the klal is, Hashem promises something good, he'll never take it back. The Moran Bracha says, by Moshe Rabbeinu Yisrael Eschel Goy Gadol, and even though the Yidden eventually did tshuva and they didn't get killed, but he still made Moshe Rabbeinu Goy Gadol. So the same thing is over here, that usually the Midas Hadin, whenever HaKadosh Baruch Hu said something good, he doesn't take it back, even if Midas Hadin makes an argument, except for this one case. What was this one case? By the Churban Bayis Rishon. Just take a look at the Gemara inside first, because the Rebbe doesn't bring every word here. Shabbos Nun Hey Amud Aleph, it's page 6.
Yeah.
The Omer of Acha Bar Chanina, Me'olam lo yatzim yirah L'Kadosh Baruch Hu Chazer L'Ra Chutz Midavar Zeh. D'chsiv Vayomer Hashem Elav. Hashem said to Yechezkel, or not to Yechezkel, to Gavriel, to the Malach. Yechezkel is watching this. Avor b'soicho ir, go in the midst of Yerushalayim, b'soich Yerushalayim, v'hisvisa taf, al mitzchos ha'anashim ha'ne'enachim. Make a sign on the foreheads of the people who are upset over the affairs of the city, people who are not Rishayim. Ha'ne'enachim v'ha'ne'enachim al kol ha'to'evos ha'nasas b'soicha. And don't kill those people. So when you go to destroy Yerushalayim, those people won't be killed. So Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu leGavriel leich Rishayim al mitchan shel tzadikim taf shel diyoi. Take a black ink and go down and write on the foreheads of the tzaddikim a black tuf. Shelo yishletu bohem malachi chabala, so that the angels of destruction don't destroy them. Ve'al mitzchem shel rishayim taf shel dam. Make a tuf out of blood on the heads of the rishayim. Kadesh yishletu bohem malachi chabala. So Midas said, the Midas didn't ask, what's the difference? So Amallah, halal tzadikim gemurim, halal rishayim gemurim. So Amal the Father Rebbeinu Shalom, hay biyadam limchais v'lay michu. The tzadikim, even though they were good by themselves, but they should have gone and rebuked the rishayim. Amallah, because Baruch Hu said, Galag yadu lefanai sheimichu bohem lo yikabu mehem. I knew that if they would have rebuked them, they wouldn't have listened. So there's no time. So Amr Lefanav, the Midas Hadin still persisted. Rebbeinu Shalom im lefanecha gali lahem mi gali. Even though you knew they wouldn't listen, but they didn't know that they wouldn't listen, so they should still have done it. And so HaKadosh Baruch Hu admitted that the Midas Hadin was right, and that's behind the Dichsiv. That's the end of the pasuk. Zakein bachru besula taf v'noshim tahargu l'mashchis. Kill everybody. V'al kol ish asher alav ataf. Oh, everyone who has the sign of life on them, al tigashu, don't go close to them. But then, after the Midas Hadin's argument, Hashem said, "Umikdashi tachilu." Start with the most holy of the people. That they started killing the elders, the tzaddikim who were standing in front of the Beis Hamikdash. Tani Rav Yosef al tikri mikdashi el mikudashai. Not the Beis Hamikdash, but the mikudashai, the ones that are holy. Elu b'nei Adam shekimu es ha'Torah kula me'alef v'ad taf. These are the people that kept the entire Torah. Okay, so back to the Sefer now. He just says it b'kitzur now. Amar Midas Hadin l'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu man nishtanu elu me'elu. Amar la halal tzadikim gemurim, halal rishayim gemurim. Amar lefanav Rebbeinu Shalom hayal limchais v'lo michu. They should have been moiche. Amar lahem I knew they wouldn't accept it. They didn't know. Okay, the question is like this. This that says that these people kept the entire Torah. But if they didn't rebuke those who were doing the Averis, then they didn't keep the whole Torah. They didn't keep that mitzvah, the hoicheach terchiach. They're missing one mitzvah. Yeah? You hear the kasha?
Yeah.
So Uveramban Parshas Tavai, and I was just going to make the kasha stronger. Uveramban Parshas Tavai alakasiv aru asher lo yakim. The Ramban says that the pasuk that says cursed is anyone who doesn't uphold all these mitzvahs. So the Ramban says, what does the uphold mean? Hevi me'ayushalmi dekay alachiv lahakim atorah biyadam avatlim oisa. It's going on that every yid has a chiv when he sees other yidden not keeping the Torah, he has to go and tell them what to do, rebuke them. Because of Sham, the Ramban says, "Va'afilu hayahut tzadik gomer." Even if this person was a complete tzaddik, if this tzaddik had the ability to go and get other people to keep the Torah, and he didn't, then he's cursed. Ayin Sham, that's the Ramban. V'im kain, chamura mitzvah zu yoysim mishar mitzvahs. So this makes our kasha stronger. These people in Yechezkel who could have rebuked and they didn't rebuke, they are they're not just missing one mitzvah, stam mitzvah, they're missing a very, very important mitzvah. They're orah. V'chein b'soita daf lamed zayin b'beis, the Gemara in Soita says, Isa shenichresu al alafim brisois, that thousands of agreements, covenants were made. The baruch, the orah al ha'arvus, with the words baruch and orah on the arvus. And this means basically that
What's arvus?
Arvus is the responsibility of every yid for another yid. And the Gemara comes out, there are I think 17 billion brises.
What?
17 billion, because it says like this, that there were four things. There was orah, baruch, orah b'chlal, and baruch b'chlal.
Yeah.
So there are four types of orah and baruch. Okay, multiply 4 times 4 things. Lil moed olam and lishmor v'lasos, that's 16. Then they were makabel in 3 places in the midbar, by Har Sinai and then Arvus Moav and Oil Moed. It's 3 things. 3 times 16 is 48. And then for every mitzvah in the Torah, 613. And then multiply that by the number of Yidden in the midbar, which is 603,000. And you get something like 17 billion.
Wow.
So the Arvus was chal on everybody for every mitzvah, for every possible combination of all those things. V'chiyav ha'arvus hu mashet tzarech limchois. And what is the chiyuv of arvus? Why is every yid responsible for every other yid? Because you have to protest. You have to speak up when you see someone doing something. Otherwise, why are you blamed? Why is there a din arvus? If I'm doing nothing and he's doing something wrong, why am I blamed for him? Obviously, the reason is because I have to speak up. So, you see that speaking up is a very chamadik thing. No matter what you say, ein mitzvah zu b'chusim mishar mitzvahs. It's at least as good as any other mitzvah. How could you say that these people kept the entire Torah? They didn't. They're missing a mitzvah. So I said that the teretz is like this. The Gemara Erchin daf tezayin and base yesh plukta, that we have a machlokes in the Gemara Erchin how much you have to do rebuke other people. How far does it go? Ad kama hi mitzvahs terchecha. How much do you have to go on? How long do you have to go on doing it? So Rav Omar ad kadei akah. You have to do it until the person hits you. Ula Shmuel ad kadei klala. Shmuel says no, only until he curses you. But you don't have to go so far and keep on bothering him until he hits you. Ula Rabbi Yochanan ad kadei nizifa. You just have to do it until he gets angry, but not until he curses. He's the most mekel. V'chein hu sham plug to the Tanai. The same machlokes is 3 Tanaim: Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Yeshua, Uben Azai. Okay, matching up with those 3 Amoraim. Rambam bepered vav milchus deis halachas zayin pasuk karav. The Rambam goes l'chumra. He paskins like Rav that you have to do it until the person hits you. Shashir hu ad kadei hakah. The smag, however, the smag holds not like the Rambam. Hikshala. He asks on the Rambam, Shari b'chol makom Rav Rabbi Yochanan halach Rabbi Yochanan. We don't pass like Rav against Rabbi Yochanan. So therefore, pasuk Rabbi Yochanan dal kedei nazifa. He holds no, only until the person gets angry at you. V'heviu sham v'hagos maimoni. The Hagos Maimoni brings down the smag. The cost of achar kach sheyesh raya Rambam. He says no, but I'll prove the Rambam is right. Mimedrash Tanchuma Parshas Tazria. The medrash that says like this Gemara and Shabbos, the same story. The Midas Hadin said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Man yishtanu el meilu, by the Churban, what's the difference between the Tzadikim and the Rishaim? And it says the whole story there. Ad afa pichein ha'ilhem lihisbazois ulekabel al atzmam hakois. That the taina on these tzaddikim was not that they should have rebuked them. They did rebuke them. The taina was they should have kept on speaking up until the Rishaim beat them up for it.
Is that right? So we have to do.
So that's what the Rambam holds. That's what we have to do in our daily life. We have to rebuke people until they hit us.
Do we officially pass in this way?
Well, I don't know if we pass like the Rambam. I'm just telling you that's the psak of the Rambam. But listen, it depends on whether they're going to listen at all. There's a Tosfos in Shabbos. Look back in that Gemara, top Tosfos.
Yeah.
It says, "Afagav deloy mikabli loichachinu mar." Even if they don't accept it, you should be mochiach them. Hainu hecha destafik im mikabli. That's only if you don't know if they're going to accept it or not. And maybe there's hope. After rebuking them a bunch of times, they'll give in. Like those people didn't know whether they would listen, right? That's why Hashem punished them. If you know for sure they're not going to listen, then then we say, leave them alone, better they should be shaygeg. Okay?
But that only applies to certain mitzvahs, not everything. It only applies to a derabanan.
A mitzvah that's not written beferish in the Torah.
Right, and a derabanan also. Okay. But not applicable to a deraisa, and I include carrying it on Shabbos, get beferish, but then against carrying.
Okay. Anyway, so back to this. So the Rambam paskins that even to get hit, if you don't know, there's still hope, right? They might accept it. So you have to keep on saying it until they hit you.
So if I see somebody carrying, I should rebuke them until they start smacking me?
Well, maybe they're never going to listen. Maybe you know for sure they're never going to listen. Okay. Now, so that's the taina on those tzaddikim. Afa pichein ha'ilem lisbaz lekabel atzmam hakais mi Yisrael kashem shahayu hanavim soivlim. Just like the Nevi'im used to accept. Shahare Yirmiyah v'Yishaya kamat sar sovlim Yisrael. You know, Yirmiyah and Yishaya also rebuked the Yidden, and they suffered for it.
Yirmiyah was in prison, for example.
Right. Gevi nosati l'makim. Yishaya Navi says, "My back I turned to the beaters. I let them. I let them beat me up." Yeah. Miyad chazar kodesh baruch hu v'yamar l'malchei chabal. That's when Hashem changed his mind and said, "Yeah, kill the tzaddikim too." Okay, ad kan l'shoynai u'mevur mizeh. We see from the Medrash Tanchuma shachisarin haya shalei savlu hakais. That the problem with these tzaddikim was they didn't accept beatings. Like the Nevi'im.
Hur did. From the Kali Shal, when he prayed against Benega, he kept being killed.
Ushma mina. We see from this shemichu bohem that they did rebuke. Ela shalei haya ad kadei hakos. So back to our question, we asked, how could they be Mekayim the whole Torah me'alef ve'ad taf if they didn't have the mitzvah of Hochech Techiach? The answer is they did do Hochech Techiach, but they didn't do it until Hakah. They didn't follow Rav Shita. They followed Rabbi Yochanan, let's say. If they wouldn't have rebuked them at all, then the Medrash should have said that the taina was they didn't rebuke them at all. From the fact that it said they didn't accept beatings, that's something that depends on this machlokes. The Lashitas Ben Azai of Rabbi Yochanan, according to the last sheet, Ben Azai and Rabbi Yochanan, who holds that it's just until he gets angry. Shasmag pasuk of Asai. That's how the smag paskins. Shaper kimu mitzvahs terchacha. They did accept they did fulfill the mitzvah. Even though they didn't go until they got beaten. V'yadua, it's known that at the time when Hashem is running the world with his midas harachmim, then we rely on the mekel. We rely on the shittas of those who are mekel. So Hashem could sometimes let people go if they followed epis hashita. Like if they say, okay, I'm carrying in the Erev because there's epis hashita. So Hashem will let them off the hook if his midas harachmim is being sholet. At the beginning, first Hashem said, yeah, the tzaddikim could go free because his midas harachmim was in power. But nemar aleim shekimu kol haTorah kula me'alef ve'ad taf. That's why it says that they fulfilled the entire Torah. Kedas benazeh of Rabbi Yochanan, because they followed Rabbi Yochanan's shita. They followed the shita that it's allowed to stop rebuking when they get angry. Because really, that shita is a valid shita. Every shita in the Gemara is divrei Elokim Chaim. Kasher keinu b'chol pluktis tanoim b'amroim, like every machlokes. But after Hashem's midas hadin took over, then naktu kedas machmirim. Then Hashem went like the machmir. He went like Rav, the tzarech had kedei hakah, that you have to do it until the person starts beating you. Shegam Rambam pasuk kavase, and that's a valid shita. And not only that, the Rambam is pasking like that shita. These tzaddikim did not do enough rebuke. Because they didn't wait until the person beat them. And that was the time on them for not rebuking. We see from this how far the mitzvah of toichacha reaches.